You guys all set up? Is that right? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I'd like to welcome you all here to the Elm Street Health Center. And please, just for our audience and our speakers, we don't have amplification, so we're all going to have to work to make sure everybody can be heard. This is an operating health center and dental clinic, so there's patients that will be milling around. My name is Rocky Murs. I'm the Public Information Officer here at the Health Department. And I would like to welcome you all here to this event this morning. Thank you so much for coming. I can assure you that we'll keep this brief. We don't have a whole line of speakers going, so we'll do our best to keep it as brief as we can. And I just wanted to say as an opening comment that when I think about dental, it reminds me of the battle I go through every morning with my 4-year-old daughter. Because trying to get her to brush her teeth is more like WrestleMania than brushing. But I always tell her what my parents and my mom told me, which is that, you know, Rocky, you have to brush your teeth. Because if you don't brush your teeth, if you ignore them, they'll go away. In events like this morning, and reflecting on Kyle and what's happened with the Willis family and the Collins family, made me understand that that's not completely true. Because the fact of the matter is, if you ignore your teeth, it can kill you. And that's a fact. And that's something that's important to remember today. I want to just say that we're extremely grateful for the interest and the advocacy that Bootsy and Patty and the entire Collins family have shown for the cause of dental care and the needs that you're going to hear more about today related to the uninsured and uninsured dental. I can assure you that their work and their interest in these issues is genuine, it's sincere. Every time we've called upon them to have an event, make a phone call, come somewhere, lend their support, they've been there with bells on, and we appreciate that. In fact, it's often them calling me. It's Patty getting on the phone with me, going, Rocky, we're hearing about there might be budget cuts. We're hearing about something. We don't want any more Kyles. What can we do? What can we do? How can we help? How can the foundation help? How can Bootsy and I help? So we're extremely grateful for that. If you haven't had a chance to look, I wanted to mention we've got some pictures maybe afterwards. You can come in and look, not now, that show before and after. And they really demonstrate the power that dental can have on self-esteem, not to mention the obvious health issues, but self-esteem, employment. These pictures are dramatic, and you should definitely check them out if you haven't had a chance to. And I want to thank Dr. Allen, who's one of our dentists here, for putting that together. Finally, very quickly, I want to recognize we have Joyce Kinley here, who is our incoming Board of Health Chair. Howard Bond is our City of Cincinnati Primary Care Board Chair. Princess Wilson, who's a staple in the Madisonville community and a member of our primary care board, is here. We've got Jim Schwab with the Greater Cincinnati Health Foundation. They've been a fantastic partner with us, not only on school-based health centers, but also on dental, and they're taking a renewed interest in dental. We're grateful for that. Thank you, Jim. We've got Joyce Tate, who's our Assistant Health Commissioner for Primary Care. Nancy Carter, who's here. She doesn't like the cameras and isn't going to speak. We did get her to remove the cloth over the plaque, but I can tell you Nancy is the person quietly working to make all this happen in dental. We're very appreciative for her. Ivy Mandela is our clinic manager down here at Elm Street. She's here. He won't be speaking today, but we have Councilmember Seelbach here as well in the audience. And I just want to thank, while I have the chance, Ashley Acello, Heather Mercer, Dale Corns, and Greg Peterson, who all helped make this happen today. So, it's my pleasure to introduce to you our Vice Mayor, Councilmember Qualls. I will say in her time on council, throughout her esteemed career, she's been an unwavering supporter for the services that we're talking about here today, and I know that the folks that benefit from those services are grateful for her support. I know that our Cincinnati Board of Health and our CCPC are also grateful for her support. We're very glad to have her here today. She's also the chair of City Council's Finance and Budget Committee. So, Vice Mayor Qualls.
First of all, on behalf of the City of Cincinnati and on behalf of Mayor Mark Mallory, I want to thank Tootsie and Patty and the Willis and Collins family for all of their efforts and support to make this a reality. Also, even though it's been a little bit of time to once again to tell you how sorry we are that it took the death of time to actually focus our attention, much more so than it had been, on the importance of dental health care and access to it for all people. You know, the City of Cincinnati has had a long-standing commitment to ensuring access to health care for all people in the City of Cincinnati. And we have done that through one of the most extensive primary care public systems in the country. For those of you who do not know, and I know probably everybody here does, but for those who may be listening who do not know, any citizen in the City of Cincinnati can actually come to our health clinics. Even if you're not a citizen in the City of Cincinnati, you can come to our health clinics. And so what we see is that folks who have been traditionally cut off from access because of lack of insurance or lack of the ability to pay in other ways have the ability to get health care provided to them, which is very important. But what's also important, and we have a lot of dentists here that can talk about this more specifically, what's also important is not just taking care of the body, it's also taking care of the mouth. And so recognizing the importance of dental health care, the City of Cincinnati's 5 primary health care centers and the Crest Smile Shop Dental Clinic has seen over 10,000 dental patients, has performed has had over 24,000 dental encounters, and 7,000 emergency dental visits annually. Those are really remarkable numbers, and it really demonstrates very clearly the need for access to expanded dental health care. Last year, City Council approved $250,000 so that we can expand dental hours, and it's projected that that will actually allow for an increase of 2,700 visits, and we've already seen 900 more visits since April.
Right.
And we should be very, very happy with that. All you have to do is look at the pictures behind us, and we'll get a chance to do that a little later, to see the results in the real lives of real people. And it's transformative. It also, quite clearly, oftentimes is life-saving. And so, once again, thank you to also the Willis and the entire Collins family for their support of this effort. Thank you to Cincinnati City Council. And once again, nothing is ever for sure. Healthcare and dental care is incredibly important. It is important that the city maintain its support through its entire budget process. We will see a new budget come out in November, possibly as early as October. It is important that we make sure that we preserve healthcare access for all Cincinnatians. Thank you very much.
Right.
Hi, I'm Councilmember Quinlivan, Lori Quinlivan. I'm going to say a couple words too. Last year when this tragedy occurred, I was the chair of the committee that oversaw health, and I remember reading about it in the Enquirer of Kyle's death. And immediately I thought about a budget meeting in the community that we had been to just the month before, where they were talking about, please don't cut our health centers. And one of the gentlemen who testified, I believe was a dentist, and said, if we're not careful, we'll have the incident of, and he named a guy in Maryland who had died of a dental infection. And then 1 month later, this happened in our own community with Kyle Willis. So Rocky and I talked, and what we did was we held a special hearing of our committee to talk just about this and what we can do. And Cecil Thomas and I sponsored the motion to get some extra money to extend the clinic hours. So because of that, it was supported by all the council members here. At this clinic, for example, they open very early in the morning, Monday through Thursday, and they stay open late at night, Monday through Thursday, and it's fully booked. and these extended hours are at 3 other clinics in our city. The other thing about it is we're actually saving taxpayer money by doing this, because the folks who used to have these dental emergencies would go to our emergency room. And that costs much, much more than to be taken care of at a clinic like this. So I'm really proud of our health clinics, even though I don't chair the committee that oversees health anymore. I really think they're a national model, and we should, be proud of them and talk about them. And I want to introduce now the council member who does oversee health for our city, Wendell Young.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I am extremely pleased to be able to be here. I was talking to Lucy just a moment or two before we all came up here to line up to speak. And I said to him that I really admire him and Patsy and the rest of the Collins family for their willingness to over and over and over again be willing to talk about what happened to Connie. If you've ever lost a person who's really close to you, you know how difficult the grieving process is. And people often tell you, you'll get over it. I can tell you from personal experience, you don't get over it. You find a way to live with it. And what they have done is not only